in VMware, or like you have to run as an administrator. All things are being recorded. अब इससे this is a VMware is a paid version, right? So for that we have to use the key. So what all are the installation what I can say installation steps? First we have to click on that, which I have clicked on the software. After that we have to go to next, and here it is asking me to accept the terms of license agreement. You can read it right thoroughly. What does license say and what all are the things there. So first go to accept the term, and then next. You have two options to install, like typical program features will be installed, or choose if you want to choose something according to you. So recommended for the advanced user, this one. If you are an ordinary user and don't know much more about the virtualization, then go for typical. So I can go this one as well. So here what all are the things you have: core components, enhanced keyboard, Visual Studio. You can also click from here. You should directly go to this. You can change the port, or you can store the VMs where your VMs are going to store. Later on you are going to install the VM, create the VM. So all the things like configuration files or all the VM paths are going to stored here. And click for the updates. I check for the product updates, and it will prompt you for these updates. For improvement, it will also suggest you. One icon would be created on the desktop, and one is in the start menu folder. So now click to begin the process. It is going to install on your system. So this is all you have to do while installation of VMware. After that you have to create the virtual machines. You can create more number of machines, like one for Linux, one for Linux 6, another for Solaris. You can create n number of machines on it as per its support. So this would take some time. For that period I can push the, we have to wait only. Now it's asking for license key, which I have to provide here, and this is a like I have key. The setup successful completed operation related to operation. Click OK. Right. So this is my virtual environment over the window machine. Right. Here I can create. It is also showing me some more information regarding the software which we are having the download available for this. VMware Workstation Pro version 14, but nowadays we are using only 10. So either I can go for skip this version, or I can download it. But right now I'm not going download. Here what all I can do with VMware Workstation 10, create a new virtual machine. If I have existing virtual machine, I can open from here. For software updates, I can check from here. Virtualize a physical machine or connect to a remote server. So VMware is one of the advanced feature regarding virtualization. Here what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to create a virtual machine. I have few of the tab buttons here, like file. In file I have again a new virtual machine. If I want to create, I can open new window, and these things all are for the day-to-day use. Like I have some parameters to edit here, and view I can see in full screen mode, or I can change view accordingly. I have VMs here. If If I have any VM that is running, I can power it off, I can power it on, so I can do some operations. So first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new virtual machine. Again, we have two options here for advanced, custom, and for recommended, that is for the typical. So I'm going for custom one again. Next. So from this, like from here I can change, like if I want to use VMware 9, VMware 8. So these all are having its limitations and pro and cons. What I can say is, and this I call can also use allow. What are the limitation of VMware 10? You can use up to 64 GB of memory, 16 processors, 10 network adapters, and 8 GB of disk size. You can select in VMware machine, right? So let me go to next. Definitely, I can create one VMware machine. Right now, I can create only, or I can install like OS itself. Okay, got it? Got my point? I can create a blank machine or I can install the OS as well. If I want to install the OS, I have to install the image where you have given like Red Hat 6, Red Hat 7, whatever you have given. You can select from here or you can later do it. Got it? Later you can install. So first, okay, let me go. This is the Linux ISO, right? Where you have installed? Desktop. Okay, so go to desktop. Desktop, I have Linux. Okay, this is my RHEL 7 ISO. I am just opening it. So though it is showing that could not detect which operating system it is, but definitely it will be going to support because I have done it. Or you can say I'll install the operating system later. It is up to you. So we should go to later, right? So next, I am going to cast operating system name here. Suppose I'm going to install Linux, so I should use this. In Linux, which version I'm going to install, though it is supporting only up to 6, right? 6 and 64-bit, but I'm going to install Linux 7 here, so I'll select it 664 because it is providing me for the 7. Come on, next. So this would be the name of my virtual machine and this would be the location. You can change the location as well where your machine would be installed or configuration files going to be installed. So you can change it by browsing this. I'm going to next. Number of processor. Suppose you want one processor, you can give 1 to up to 16 processor it was showing, you can give it to. I'm going with one processor and number of cores you can select up to 2, 3, whatever you want. If you want a fast processing, you should go at least 6, 8. But again, it's my basic machine, so I'm going with 1. RAM. RAM we have to select from here. I can select through this as well. So it is if I'm going to for 1 GB, 1024 it is showing. I can change here as well. I can change by these buttons, pressing these buttons. So recommended is 2 GB, and if your operating system is not that much used, it is only for test purpose, you should definitely go for 1 GB. If you have 8 GB of RAM in your physical system, so you should definitely go for 2 GB. Right? Otherwise, it is going to slow your window machine as well because it is taking some space from there. Correct. For network connections, you can use bridged one. Bridged one is if you want to connect this virtual machine over the net. Got it? If you want to have only net, so it is dial-up external Ethernet. You can connect your cables or you can give access to local area network. Okay. Host only, like from window machine to virtual machine. or if you don't need, or if you don't want to use any network connection, you can use you can select the fourth one. So I'm going with net, so not a problem here. Definitely. What type of SCSI controllers you need? So LSI logic is recommended. I should go for recommendation. Disk type, you must be aware of as a system admin what is IDE, SCSI and SATA. These are the different type of hard disk which we have in current environment. Previously IDE was being used. Nowadays we are using SCSI, right? So it is recommended itself here, and that part of difference I'm not going to discuss here because it's a big part. If you talk about IDE, SATA, these are having some common differences and its functionalities as well. Now, disk, create a new virtual disk, use an existing virtual disk or use a physical disk. So these are three options which you can select. So I don't have any existing virtual disk, so I will go for a new virtual disk. If I would having previous machines VM disk, I can also utilize by choosing this option, right? So I will go for create new virtual disk. Size, 20 GB is the recommended size for your hard disk. If you want to change, you can change, right? So I will be going with 20 GB. Here you should select this one, store virtual disk as a single disk. What is happening here, if you are split virtual disk into multiple files, so at time means later on if you require to move your virtual disk from one server to another server or some other use, so having a single virtual disk is quite easy to operate. Got it? If it is in multiple files, so it will take some more efforts, or you can say extra efforts. So avoid the extra efforts, you should go for virtual disk in a single disk. Now, disk of 20 GB file will be created using file name provided here. So this would be the file name of your disk. VMDK is the .vmdk is the extension, you can say. This is extension for your disk. Now you have provided all the parameters and you have a check to go. You can see the name, location, version, operating system, hard disk, memory, network adapter, other devices, or if you want to change something, you can customize again here. If you are good to go for finish. So now your image virtual machine here, right? What I should say, virtual machine. So these are the configuration. Again, you are able to see how many processors, how much is the RAM, what is the hard disk size, any CD is detected or not, network type. So all these things you have here. If you go to VM, it will give you options like power on, startup guest, suspend. So all these things. You can go to BIOS. BIOS, like in physical machine, as we are going to console, right? Here you are also having BIOS prompt for this. In Solaris machine, it is also called like OK prompt, or you can say BIOS prompt. So this is the virtual machine. If I'm going to power it on, alright, don't show me this. The machine is getting powered on, but what I think is I haven't provided is the OS, right? OS name. So it must be throwing me some error as there is no network boot. Got it? It is going directly to network boot. It has no OS installed. So what I have to do is I have to provide in the CD, or first I should stop it or power off, right? Because it will be in continuously in network mode. It will try to boot the machine from the network, but we haven't configured it over the net. So what I have to do is I will install through, so go to CD, and what you can do, use physical device or use ISO. From here I will use ISO, and I have in my desktop Red Hat 7 ISO. So I should select it from there. Here, got it? I have selected ISO. Now, okay, now I should try to power it on. So hopefully it is going to me now. Now it is giving me the installation procedure. How can I install Red Hat Linux 7? So what it is giving to me, it is giving me 1, 2, 3 options. First one is install Red Hat Enterprise 7.0. First, if you want to install, click on it, or you can press I from your keyboard. If you want to test the media and install Red Hat Enterprise 7, I think there is no need, because if media is putting up and booting the virtual machine, so no need. If you still want to check your media, you can go for test media. Suppose it is your existing environment, like you have installed machine here, or it is not booting up properly. For that time you need troubleshooting, or you can say you have to go to rescue mode. By using troubleshooting, you will go to rescue mode. There you can do your admin task, or you can make your OS machine to come up, right? So here I'm going to install. I should press first thing, press the key to begin the installation. So what I have to press? I have to press enter. So it is showing me few of the details, and it will give me some options. By choosing the options or customizing as per my requirement, I would be able to install Red Hat 7 machine to my virtual machine, which I have created right now. So it is installing, it is starting installer. Yep. I can go to full mode. Now it's looking good. Right. Red Hat 7 installation is quite easy and user friendly, as it is providing me the GUI, graphical user interface. It would asking me, welcome to Red Hat Enterprise 7.0. What language would you like to use? As one of in my video I have told you that it is supporting 22 local languages, Asian local languages as well. So you can choose either of them. I am going with English and English US. Or if you want to select like Bengali, you can also go with Bengali and Asturian and these languages I don't know. Amharic, Arabic, right? These things you can also go. So I should continue. Now it would be asking me date and time. I can select from here, like where is India? Here it is, right? And Asia, Kathmandu. Yeah, Asia, Kolkata I have selected, or you can select by dropping with this drop down button. So it is getting now done. Language you have selected, keyboard you have selected, installation, yeah, softwares, local media. As you have Red Hat 7.0 ISO, you can verify it from here also. If you install or need installation over the network, you can also do it from here. So it is again advanced version. I have to auto detected installation media. Software, yeah, this is one of the good feature. If you want to go with minimal software installation, go with this. If you want to select like your server should have some infrastructure related packages, you should go with this. If you want to go for basic web server, you should select this one. So what does it all mean? It means that whatever selection you are going to do, that much packages you are going to get. Okay, if you are going server with GUI, most of the packages you are going to get. Here again you can also select some add-ons. Suppose you want to make your DNS server, you want to make your backup server, you want to create a FTP server, so you can select it from here. So again you can go with done. So it is checking installation source, whether it is supporting or not. It is for software selection. Okay. So now it has given me server with GUI. Installation destination, it should be automatic partitions, or you want to create it manually. Suppose you have 20 GB of disk, you can create here automatically configure partition, or I'll configure partition, right? Boot, root, where, whatever you want to create, you can create by itself. So most of the production server we are doing it manually. If you want to go with automatic partition, it will give you predefined set of like how much size of the root, how much size of the where, how much size of OPD. So for a learner or for a beginner, you should directly go to automatic partitions. If you want to have some advanced experiments later on, you can go with this partition, right? So whatever is, if I want to go with this, I'll let you know. Now it is providing me here how can I click here to create them automatically. Again, it will be asking you if you want to go for automatic, you create new mount points by clicking plus button. Suppose I want to create root partition. How much? Like 4 GB. Right? Looks like 4 GB. Okay, whatever, a little bit. So I can do it is right root. If you want to add boot partition of 600 MB, so it will also work. Now if you want to add like home USR where swap must be there. Swap if you want to use of 2 GB swap. Okay, if you want to add like where partition, that should be there. Where of how much I have utilized, I have 13 GB available, so I can use 3 GB, 3098 whatever approx, right? I have 10 GB still available, so I can use USR of 2 GB, 20. Okay, I should use 4 GB at least, 40. How much I have? Again I have 6 GB, so I can, home is required, I can use home again. Suppose for user creation or something like that, 1 GB if you want, you can use 1 GB of home. Or if you don't want to waste, if you don't want to, okay, if you want to increase like your USR partition or root partition, you can do it by changing from here like 5 GB of where, and if I go to root like 5, okay, update selection. So like this I can do my partition, manual partition. So I will go to accept changes. Now everything I have customized as per my requirement. Now I can go with begin installation. First it would be asking for root password. To set root password, I'm providing here. I need to confirm, so it is showing me weak, not a problem. User, you can create a user. You should create a user definitely, because without ordinary user it is not going to let in to the OS. So direct root login is not enabled, so I have created a user here. So now starting package installation process. Okay, it's going to install. So now you have understood both the things, how to install VMware over the Windows machine and how to create a virtual machine and how to install Red Hat 7. It's quite easy and user friendly. So 3 things you have understand in this video. It would take, yeah, definitely it would take some time because it is installing 1189 of packages. Out of that it has only installed 22 packages, so it is going to take definitely some time. Now see, so installation has been completed successfully. Red Hat Enterprise Linux is now successfully installed on the system and ready for use. So you can go here for reboot. So now, 1 minute, let me interrupt. So here you have Red Hat Linux server with Linux 3.10.0 Enterprise Linux 7 x86-64 version. Got it? So the first line is showing everything. In this line you can read it. With Linux 3.10.0, this is the kernel version, and again E standing for enterprise, L standing for Linux, 7 is the version, and x86 is the Intel platform, and 64 is the version, like we are using 34 and 64 bits. So now I will enter here, you will go directly to the machine. CPU family is 6 for this. At times it is being asked that what CPU family you are using. So at the time of installation, CPU family 6 mode 78 it is showing in the first line. So it is providing you most of the information here as well at the time of reboot, like what all are controllers you are using, what all are the devices being up, services being up, and it would be going to up in 6 phases, as Linux boot has 6 phases. So it would be a different chapter itself, so we have to understand that again. So once it will come, we will have to log in. So it is coming up. License, it is asking for license. If you want to go for license, you should definitely click here. So it is end user license, you should accept the button and go for done. Finish configuration. Bingo. So now you are ready to go with Red Hat 7. You can do all your troubleshooting or all your practice on this. Here, you, very good. It's a kernel dump. In case of your kernel crashes, so it is dump mechanism. So by default, it reserve 128 MB of memory. This is the automatic reservation. If you want to go for manual reservation, you can change it here. So I will go definitely with the automatic reservation, and it is one of the good feature to be enabled. So you can read other parameters and other things about this KDump. Let's go forward. Why should I register? No, I will register later. So go for finish. Got it? So now everything is done. Machine would be coming up. Now I have created test user and provided the same password like test. So you have to provide here TEST. So okay. For the beginner, or to create a test environment or on your PC, it is one of the best thing you can create on, and you can practice. Most of the topics can be uh, practiced on this virtual environment. Few of the topics that cannot be, so for that we can create another like another machine as well here. So you can do practice for this. Again, it is asking for few configuration steps. You have to select language, again English US, using start. So it is all done. Genome help, if you want, I think there is no need. It will provide you the instructions how to work upon. Yes, here we have two tabs. One is for application and one is for places. So in application, I have few of the parameters, like I should go directly to system tools. You can do some settings here. You can do some software upgrades. You can go to Red Hat directly, access from here. You can subscribe your server or your machine to the Red Hat to get the support from them. So these all things required for production environment. If you want to have a satellite server or all these things, the patches from Red Hat support. Here you have places like you want to go to downloads, you want to go to music, you want to go to videos or computer, you can go directly from here. But what my task is, like being a system admin, I should right click here, one moment, and I can open a terminal. So I am into the command line. You can maximize this. So you can execute any command, right? As we are executing on the putty, you can execute here. Suppose you want to check uptime, you want to become the root user, you can directly root. I have provided the password for root as well. So now you are root. See the difference between root and ordinary user. See the prompt. Here you have this prompt, and here you have hash prompt, or here you have dollar prompt, right? So it shows the difference between privileges. Here you are ordinary user, here you are privileged user. Here you can execute power on, power off, whatever you want to execute. You are the super user here, or you can say administrator user. Any of the command you can execute which you are executing on your machine, like df-kh. You can check the memory status, whatever memory is there. I told you that I have given you 2 GB of RAM, so it is showing here memory 2 GB. Swap again 2 GB I have given, it is also showing 2 GB of swap. So like this, you have installed your machine and you are good to go. So hope this is clear.